That's what I'm talking about. All of our guests today, including Ross Tucker standing by, are sponsored by Basant Motors. Don't love your vehicle? Let Basant Motors help get you into one you do. There you go. Learn more at BasantMotors.com as we take you back to Sunday and a certain household in Pennsylvania.
Super Bowl spread, cheese pizza for the kids, mozzarella stick pizza, taco pizza,
Big Mac pizza.
Oh, I love Stromboli. How about the unique pretzel puffsels, Reading, PA? Salad. What am I missing over there? Oh, there's like all kinds of candy over there. I've got Doritos, still the greatest chip known to man. Look at 4 different types of hummus things. Amazing, huge cookie. We've got pigs in a blanket, tasty cake stuff, and then there's like fruit and other little things over here. Go Birds.
There you go. As we bring in Ross Tucker from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, CBS Sportsman. Your kids couldn't wait to get into that food, by the way. And Westwood One. Ross, thanks for doing this. What's on a Big Mac pizza?
First of all, my pleasure. Secondly, that worked out perfectly, actually. That was my buddy's house.
Okay.
Texted me about late morning, said, going to have a very low-key, small Super Bowl party. You want to come over? I said, what time does it start? I said, 5:30. I'm like, I'm not going to be there very long, but if you're okay with a drive-by, I'll do it. Because I can't handle watching the game with other people.
Yeah, you were
especially,
saying that, yeah.
By the way, there were people actually there rooting for the Chiefs. So my wife and daughter stayed longer than me. They lasted till the end of the first quarter. I got there. The party started at 5:30. I arrived shortly after 5:27 p.m. Eastern time because I wanted to get the perfect video of this spread, and I wanted to be able to hit it first. I will say this. The mozzarella stick and pepperoni pizza was actually good. Wow. Like the mozzarella sticks on top of the pizza. I didn't even know that was a thing right there that people are watching.
Nice.
That was good. I didn't have any of the taco pizza.
Or the Big Mac pizza.
And the Big Mac pizza looked horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous. Pickles, that Big Mac sauce. It's essentially all of the toppings that go on a Big Mac except for the burger meat. I thought it looked gross. I didn't partake in that. I will say this. As a society, really as brothers in North American eating arms, we don't talk enough about Stromboli. Stromboli's amazing. Stromboli's delicious. Like if you said to me tomorrow, Ross, Stromboli or pizza, I'm going Stromboli. I love Stromboli. I love the thickness of the meat with the cheese and then the sauce. I don't know why pizza is like so popular and people never even talk about Strombolis, but we need to try to rectify that.
It was in the Seinfeld episode, too, I believe. Hey, tell us about your rooting for the refs tweet before the game and how it applied to the end of the game. I mean, it looks like you're really looking forward to answering this question.
Yeah, that backfired, huh? I mean, I honestly, just during the day, I was thinking, I just hope it's a good game. I just hope there's not a controversy, a big play. So I remembered I put that NFL windbreaker jacket on because it was raining for the NFC Championship game. So that was like the perfect picture, right? Like, I'm rooting for the refs. Just don't have a controversial call late in the game, which is exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. Unbelievable. Now, listen, let's be clear about this. I work for the Eagles. People know that. I do their preseason games. I get money for that. I like that. I like money. I like calling games for money. But it didn't cost the Eagles the game. It robbed all of us of what would have been an awesome ending. I mean, you know what people aren't excited about? A game-clinching holding penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I hope they have a game-clinching holding penalty. Really? Really? Nobody wants that. By the way, he would not have caught the ball anyway.
There you go.
So that's the bummer of it for me. The thing I really don't like about it is that in the first half, Bradberry had a similar play with Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yep.
That was actually significantly worse. And they didn't call it.
No call. Yep.
So the thing is like, I'm not saying because of that you shouldn't call it later. I'm just saying players play after that based on how you're officiating it. Mm-hmm. Typically, playoffs, they let you play a little bit more. Super Bowl, they definitely let you play a little more. I've been in meetings with Belichick when he says it's the playoffs. We can be a little bit more aggressive, both with defensive coverage and offensive holding. They don't want to call a lot of flags. They don't want to throw a lot of flags. So to not call it in the first half, but you call whatever, maybe they're both holds. Maybe neither one was a hold. I don't know. But everyone agrees that the one in the first half was way worse than that. So to not call the one in the first half, but then you do call that, just stinks. It's a bummer. And honestly, I even don't like it for the Chiefs because maybe they would have come out after they still would have made the field goal, but up by 3.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have come out and gotten a 3 and out and won the game and kneeled out. It's not even cool for the winning team when we're talking about officiating the next day.
Ross, you said something there that strikes a chord with a lot of hockey fans because we're under the assumption that the NHL is the only league where the rules change come the postseason, where things just are called differently. But you're saying, and you mentioned the story about Belichick, that the thinking is the same in the National Football League as well, at least to some extent.
Absolutely. I even think in the NBA, they let them play a little bit more. I don't think they call as many fouls in the NBA playoffs as they do in the regular season, even though those guys are playing much tighter, much more physical defense. I think that's just the way sports are. And yes, they absolutely call it differently in the NFL playoffs historically. But then last year, we were probably talking about it. They called a hold on Logan Wilson covering Cooper Kupp. I didn't like either.
Ross, you know what? Patrick Mahomes, late second quarter, takes that hit on the bad ankle, limp into the dressing room. Fourth quarter, 26-yard run. What can you say about this guy? I mean, MVP in the league, MVP of the game for the second time. They scored on every possession in that second half, Ross.
Generational player. He's a fantastic player. He's the best player of this generation. Probably been the best player overall the last 5 years. He only won 2 of the MVPs, but he's probably been the best player in the league over the last 5 years, which happened to be his first 5 years as a starter. So it's kind of scary to think about just how good he could be. For them to win it this year without Tyreek Hill and with Mahomes to be gimpy in the championship game in the Super Bowl, it doesn't really bode very well for everybody else, does it? I mean, They're not. I don't think it'll be worse next year. Just really, really impressive. I mean, the margin for error when you play them is really small. You can't have a fumble returned for a touchdown.
Yep.
You can't have a punt returned just about for a touchdown. The Eagles won in almost every statistic, but those two. The turnover and special teams.
Listening to Jalen Hurts in the postgame, boy, this guy's mature. He's only 24. The future is bright, though, with this guy in Philadelphia, Ross, for the future.
That, Rick, is the silver lining for Eagles fans. Obviously, really painful loss, and makes it especially bad because they had all 22 starters. That doesn't happen very often.
Yep.
You're going to have to pay Jalen Hurts between $40 and $50 million. Makes it harder to field the team around him. They got a bunch of guys that are free agents. I think they know that this was a huge opportunity loss. The flip side of that is there was always like this question. Can Jalen Hurts get it done against one of these elite guys, Burrow or Allen or Mahomes in a big spot? There is no bigger spot than the Super Bowl and Mahomes, and he was awesome. Yeah. Threw for over 300 yards, and Quez Watkins dropped one that he threw perfectly as he was getting blasted on a blitz, set the record for quarterback rushing yards in a Super Bowl, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he was masterful. So the big silver lining, the big positive for the Eagles fans moving forward is, wait a minute, we got a guy that can have us in contention every year. We got a guy that can make the key plays in the clutch, critical games for us to win these games, and that's Jalen Hurts.
Yep. Before we let you go, Ross, the one I thought great entertainment yesterday, and the controversy at the end kind of added to it in a way. At least it created discussion. Well, one thing was surprising was, did you have a problem with the turf yesterday? It just seemed that a lot of players were slipping.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
it was honestly an embarrassment for the NFL. Now, I will say this. First of all, it's the same for both teams. Mm-hmm. So it's not something to whine or cry about if you're the fans of the Eagles. It's the same for both teams. But it's just a bad look. I mean, this is the highest level of the sport, the biggest game, whatever it is, 200 million people, and you got players slipping all over the place? I mean, it's not a good look. Now, the interesting thing about that, Donnie, is that bad footing is good for the offense. Right. Because the defense can't get off the snap. They can't get a good get off. And when your receivers are running routes, they know where they're going. Mm-hmm. The defense has to react to them, so they're not able to do it as effectively, which I think is one reason, by the way, why the Eagles played more zone. But the reason I bring that up is, I don't know, maybe somebody at the NFL figured that out. Maybe they realized, you know what? If the footing's not great, we'll actually get more points, 38-35. How's that sound? Yeah. Sounds great. I don't think they did that. I'm joking around, but it was one of the reasons why there was very little pass rush for both teams. I mean, the offensive lines played well, but it's really hard to get a sack if you can't get a good jump off the ball.
Yeah. Okay, this is our last hit with you for a while for this season. What mountain are you headed to?
I'm going out to Montana, Big Sky. I will be skiing there next weekend. Maybe there'll be some folks from out your way, some folks from Vancouver or BC out there. It'd be awesome. Football season's over. Skiing season is officially here.
Awesome. Ross, it's been such a pleasure this year. Every year we have you on. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll get you back when the draft happens just before.
That would be great. Love coming on with you guys. Love the feedback I get from your fans on social media. Hit me up at Ross Tucker NFL. That always means a lot. And I know, Rick, you haven't gotten a Valentine's Day gift yet. I think this might actually be better, Donnie. Mm-hmm. Buy it today. Print out the order from myfrontpagestory.com. Give it to your wife or whoever tomorrow on Valentine's Day and say, I spoke with the author. The story's being written. So first of all, you have something. You got her something. She gets it on Valentine's Day. But then can you imagine like someone that's never had anything written about them? The anticipation. It will kill the excitement and the anticipation waiting for it might actually be better than just giving her the whole thing on Valentine's Day. So it's not too late, Rick. myfrontpagestory.com.
I'm on it.
Happy Valentine's Day, Ross, and thanks for this. Appreciate it. Enjoy the skiing.
See you, dudes. I will.
You bet.